Time to test a new toy. I just got this AGT Top Cat tree cutter from an auction. Cost me $3,300. And we've used it just a little bit, but haven't used it on any real projects. So today, we're going to put it to use, try it out. I just mowed this field, looks great, but I've got these invasive autumn olives everywhere. And they're too big for the bush hog, but I think this thing's going to have no problem. I got this brand new, and it did not come with, US hydraulic fittings. This is made in China. So what we did was we opened it up, took the hoses and everything, just took them to a local hydraulic shop and said, figure out how to make this connect to a skid steer. The fittings did cost me $400, so keep that in mind, but it works pretty well now. The tree cutter is rated for high flow, but the hydraulic shop did not have high flow fittings, so we're just running under standard flow. This tree cutter is just a giant metal disc with some teeth, and I've seen some videos of other people where this disc is not balanced well and it just shakes everything. So the first thing I want to do is get this off the ground a little bit and just turn it on and make sure this is balanced well. This thing stays spinning forever. Still super smooth though, very balanced. That's good to see. Alright, so this disc has a bunch of teeth on the edge. This is what you're going to hit the stump with, primarily used to cut the tree down. But it also has teeth on the top, and then a whole spiral of teeth on the bottom. So hopefully it's good for cutting the tree down, and then you can just kind of put it down on top of it and back up and mulch it all up. So let's give it a try. I've got two autumn olives here. This one isn't super big. The bush hog might have been able to handle that. That might be, I don't know, 3 inches or so. This one over here, no chance for a bush hog. Those might be 4 or 5 inches, and that stump way down there is probably 6 or 7 inches. So these are going to be a good test. We'll start with the little one. Holy moly, this tree is just gone. I don't even know where it was. That thing's still spinning. Terrifying. I don't even know where the stump was. Where in the world? Okay, did such a good job I can't even find the remnants of the tree. Seems like it's here. No. Oh, right there it is. Good Lord. Wow. Wow. That's the stump. Shaved it off just perfectly level with the ground. Mulched the tree up to nothing. There's barely any pieces of it left. That is incredible. Well, that is a very fun toy. Let's hit a bigger tree. Alright, that was like 2 trees in 3 minutes. They're just gone. Completely disintegrated. That is incredible. Can I even find? There it is. Yeah, here's a stump for this one. Once again, just ground completely flat, flush with the surrounding soil. Holy cow, that's amazing. This thing just vaporizes trees. Let's go do more. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, and maybe 5. Well, there used to be a tree there. You know, I expected to cut trees down pretty good. I never expected it to mulch so well. These trees are just disappearing. Well, this is incredibly fun. Let's go tackle that one. Alright, well, we got all the trees done. At least the invasive ones. I'm gonna leave the others. It's finally stopped spinning. Let's check it out. Make sure we didn't lose any teeth. Teeth look really nice. A little bit wrapped around this. No big deal. Yeah, look at here. This looks like a weight that they welded on to balance this. I did see a lot of complaints about misbalanced discs, so apparently they're doing a little work at the factory now to solve that. Alright, I don't see any problems on the top. Check out the bottom. All looks good. I have no idea how long these teeth last. Uh-oh, well, that one's a little loose. Looks like we got some stuff wedged up in there, not really put some stress on that one. Not too bad though. Yeah, imagine teeth last a long time, they're just steel. Okay, final rating. This thing's incredible. I give it an 11 out of 10. Worked flawlessly. So $3,700 all in, $3,300 for the piece of equipment itself at auction, $400 for the new connectors. I think that's a great deal. So yeah, if you see these things pop up, you know, give them a look. I think the number one complaint I've seen is misbalanced discs, but here's I guess if you're looking, it's a little quick tip. If you check out the disc while on the auction site and it's got some little pieces of metal welded to it, then you know it's probably been balanced from the factory. Alright. Well, that worked out really well. I got a beautiful field.